guys, welcome back to my channel. It's G from Happiness and Crafting. So as you can see, I am going to be doing a resin video for you today, and I'm going to be using UV resin, and all the products are going to be from Letsresin because they have some beautiful stuff to use to make your resin work look fabulous. Now this is what we're going to be making today. Now the idea came from broken china. You know how they sort of like solder it around the outside and make little pendants. That's my idea today, and I thought I'm hoping to be able to sort of like replicate that in resin. So we're using UV resin and napkins, and I just think they look beautiful. Look at this one with lavender in there, little butterfly on there, little flowers. Oh, just beautiful. And what I'm going to be using, if you can see the back, it's the white UV resin, so it almost looks like sort of porcelain, which is lovely, and it's opaque, and I just think they're lovely. And I've just popped little beads on there and a little bowl pin because I will be using these in my journal. But again, you can use these to make earrings or pendants or little charm bracelets. I just think they are beautiful. So I'm going to just pop those up there out of the way. I've got some more here. This one, I've got a little bit of lace in there, which is just gorgeous, and that is gone through some clear resin like that, so it's see-through. And some of these are a little bit wet over here because you have to let the chrome pen dry, but I'll show you. And then this one, I popped a little bail on there, so that is actually made into a pendant. So products we're going to be using, I'm going to be using white UV resin and clear UV resin. I am going to be using my double lamp, which you got the light coming from the top and the bottom, which is fabulous. I've got this, which is the lovely sander. Now this is that rechargeable handheld sander. It comes with a bigger one as well, but this is fabulous, so I'm going to be using that today. And I'm also going to be using my lovely little cordless drill, and these are all from Letsresin. What else have we got? I think that's about it. And then what you want to do is get yourself some napkins, or this is tissue paper, so if you've got some pretty tissue paper, you can use that as well. But you know, use what you've got, but napkins are your best bet because they're not going to run. They'll be in there, so I've got those as well. So, and then I'm going to use some molds. So these are from the like jewellery molds. You get lots and lots, and they come in a little box, and you come with some little attachments on there as well. So I've picked this four, but look, you get hundreds, you get loads. Look at all these. You get piles of them, and they are just fabulous. Now I'm going to be using the smaller ones. I'm going to use this one and this one, and then I've got a little diamond one, and then we've got like a little oval in there as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put them all in the middle like that. So I'm going to be using these four on here. Actually, I'm going to put them on the acrylic little thing in here, the machine first. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to get, everything of mine seems to have glitter all over it. So best way to do that is just get yourself a little bit of tape and just go in there so we don't have any glitter on there. So, but everything of mine, and believe it or not, I'm not going to be using glitter today. So we have that. Now this is the little in-betweeny thing, that your little shelf. So I'm going to put that on there. I should have done that first. Make sure, actually we need to make sure they all sort of fit so it can go into the machine. Whether this is going to fit though. Let's hope. Let's do a little bit of juggling about. There we go. That should fit. As long as they're on there, it will slide into the machine. So I'm going to be using some white UV resin. This is so simple. There's no mixing or anything. I'm just going to pop it into the little molds. Just the small one. One bit in there. A little bit in there. In that one. And then we'll have this little funny shape. I'm not quite sure what that shape's called actually. Pop these in. We're going to pop a little top layer of UV resin the clear on there as well. I'm going to take my lighter and just, just get rid of some of those little bubbles that are on the top, like that. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to just pop this into the machine to set that. Oh, let's pop that on. Pop that in here. Love this machine. I will link everything down underneath. I'm going to have to put this one this way, guys. Doesn't matter if they poke out that way, but that's going to, just so they all get that little bit of light for, I'm going to pop them in there for a couple of minutes in there to set. So what we need to do now is just find some napkins that we would like to use. Now I'd like this little bit. I think these are just beautiful. So we will have some of that. These ones are lovely. The little bird is a little bit too big. So I'm just going to take the little flower off here. Just rip it round. You can sort of like wet these and take them off. I'm going to take a little bit of that. I'm going to have a little bit of this one. What should we have? Oh, decisions. I might just take this little bit because I want it sort of to come off the edge. So it's like a bit of broken china, don't we? We've got a little bit of green on there. Got a little bit of this. Should we use a piece of this? We could, but I quite like to just use the napkins, I think. I've got that one. Got a little bit of this. This is nice. Let's use this little bit over here. Piece of that. And then should we go for like a little greeny bit? Oh no, let's go for a bit of lavender. The lavender is beautiful. I think I've got a piece here actually. Let's use some of this. Just take this off. Like that. Okay, so I've got 4 pieces on there, which is perfect. So yes, if you've got little sort of pretty little flowery stickers or something, you can use those as well. You know, just use what you have. I think they are lovely. So we're going to use these. Okay, this is just clicked off. So let's see how these are. I think that's pretty good. Okay, so these are going to come out. We don't need these anymore. Just pop these out like that. So that's going to be the back. So that's going to be where we've popped them in this way round. Oopsie daisy. Let's just pop those on like that. This lovely flower would probably fit on there quite well, wouldn't it? So it's sort of half on and half off. So I'm going to take that. I'm going to just take a little nail file and just, let's put that to the side so we don't get dust everywhere. Just go around the edge like that. There we go. And then you can actually see what it's going to be like. So look at that. That's lovely, isn't it? So let's pop that one there. We shall have a little bit of lavender on the long one. So that can just go on there like that. File up. These are so quick to make. And they are just the prettiest. Now again, you can make the big ones. All depends what you're going to use them for, doesn't it? I don't want big ones because I want them to go into my journal. So we've got this little bit. I think that will fit sort of like that, won't it? What do we want it? Yeah, like that, I think. A little bit of white left on there. Take that down. Nail file is the easiest thing to use. There we go, that's that one. Let's get rid of all these little bits. And this one, we will have a little bit of the red and the green on there. Like that. There we go. Fabulous. Right, let's get rid of all these little bits. We don't need those. They can go into the bin. Look at that. Looking yummy already, aren't they? So what we need to do now is take our clear UV resin, lift this off, pop a little bit. Don't need a lot, you just need a little bit on these. A little bit on there. Oops. A little bit on there. And a little bit on there, just a tiny bit. I'm taking a little cocktail stick. I'm going to pop that on top and just let that UV resin soak up through your napkin, like that. So that sits on there. Don't worry if you've got bits hanging over the edge, because we're going to sand those off as well. So just stick that on there. Make sure it's all, and we're going to go over the top with a little bit of resin as well. I'm going to turn this way. Make sure we are stuck down. Like that. Pop this on top. Gosh, you can have a real good production line going on these. You can do as many that would fit into this the little square of acrylic, so it can go under your machine. You can use a torch as well. Not a torch, a little UV lamp, smaller lamp. You don't have to have the double one. Just use what you've got on there, but I will link everything under this video that I'm using, so you can have a little peek and see. You can pop it onto your little wish list. You might have a birthday coming up soon or something, so you can pop it on your birthday list, because their products are fabulous. There we go. So this one's overhanging, oopsie daisy, this one's overhanging a little bit, but I'll show you how we can sand that off with that lovely machine. Okay, pop that under our little lamp. Don't they look lovely? I think they look so lovely already. Oops, let's pick that up, can you see? There we go. Pop that into there, turn that on, that will go in there for a couple of minutes. Let's put these back in our little pot, have a little tidy up. But I'm going to just show you again how beautiful they are just while they are under the machine. They are just gorgeous, aren't they? And then I've just popped a little bead on there. You can if you make your own beads, you can pop your own beads on there to match. But that's the lavender one. I just think that is just so pretty. I just love them. I really, really do. So they're going to go back over there. Let's just pop that under my little pot. Now, if you wanted to have the UV resin a different colour, like I've done this one a green. And I like the opaque colours, because that's the sort of the china look, isn't it? And this one's blue on there. So what I did, I used the UV resin, and I just used a little drop of the resin dye. So you can get sets of these as well. So just one little drop in there, or don't make it too dark. You only need a little bit. I think I put 2 drops in there, so I would probably have that just a little bit lighter. So I would just put 1 drop. And this one I think I used blue and green, a drop of each, and I think that's come up absolutely lovely. So whatever sort of like china you've got, you could use like a pinky one, which would look really, really lovely as well. So I just put the resin in here, and then just one drop of that and mixed it up, and that's it. So it comes out really, really pretty. Okay, so they are done. So that's nice and hard on there. So I'm just going to take these off, pop that back into our machine. This is a little bit of a messy bit. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put my mask on. This is just, you should be wearing a mask, windows open, everything. My window's open and stuff, but I can't really talk when I'm doing this. So I'm going to put this on because I'm going to be getting rid of some dust everywhere. So hopefully you can hear me okay. Now I'm going to be using this, and I'm going to just be going around the edges. Now, on these bits where you can see the resin has gone over, it's got sort of like a little bumpy, lumpy bit there. I quite like that because when you're soldering, you get these marks on there. And all I wanted to do is just get rid of the edges so it's not so sharp. This is fabulous. So I'm just going to hold that down so it flashes, and then you hold it again, and that just spins. And then I'm going to just sand around the edges. Like that, just to make it a little bit clean and tidy. Okay, perfect. That's lovely. So while they're still dusty, I'm going to just go through and drill the hole again. And I go through the back this time, but these have just come up lovely. A little bit there. I'm going to just take my nail file on that bit. Now you can also sort of like misshape them as well, so you could sand a little flatter edge here. Because obviously when you're cutting with your cutters and breaking up china, they're not always, you know, the right, you know, symmetrical and things like that. So you can sort of like file a little bit off like that, but they are fab. So I'm just going to take my drill while I've got my mask on, pop this onto number 3, and I'm going to go through the back where you can see the hole and just go through. There we go. Perfect. Whew, take my mask off because that's quite hot in there. I'm just going to take a little bit of a wet wipe and just wipe off some of that dust on these. Get a little bit cleaned up. So they're nice and clean, but oh, they are so lovely. So, so lovely. Let's just wipe that off. Like that. You can wet this. You can wet this and then you won't get so much dust everywhere. But I didn't want sort of what I did that before, but you get the sort of like splats of water everywhere. So I just put my mask on instead. So let's just get rid of this dust. You don't want that. Try and get a wet wipe so it cleans it up. nicely and you're not left with lots of sort of like dust everywhere. Let's get this off my gloves so we're all nice and clean. There we go. Lovely. Super. Okay. So these are back. They are lovely. Really, really nice. So what we're going to do now, we're going to put them back on here. Now they are all cleaned up. And then we are going to do another little layer because you can see they are all sort of lumpy bumpy on there. Hopefully you can sort of see that. So they just need a sort of like a bit of a clean up with, let's not put the white on, just with the clear hard type. This is, so I'm just going to put a little blob on each, like that. Then again, I just find these little cocktail sticks or a little toothpick, you know, because they're sort of like disposable. You can just go over the top, just rub that over the edge, and then these will just go back under the light for another couple minutes. So then we will be ready to do the next step. So can you see how quick and simple these are to do? Now you don't have to have the you know, the sander and stuff. If you've got a little nail file, you can sand it off. Obviously it's going to take a little bit longer, but do make sure you wear a mask. I normally wear a mask when I am doing this anyway, but because I'm doing just a quick video, I haven't got one on today because it's very hard to talk and do it because it gets very, very hot in your mask, as you probably all know. There we go. Pop it round to the sides. Sort of go around your little hole that you've just made. But don't worry, if you go through that hole again, you can probably just sort of drill it out. Go around the edge. I think that's pretty done. Pretty much done. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my lighter. I'm going to just go over these just to pop any little bubbles that are on there. Pop that to the side, and I'm going to put this in here, and I'm just going to pop those in there. Oops, for 2 minutes. I just adore this double lamp. I absolutely do. So that's going to go in there for 2 minutes, and then I will be back. Okay, so that's them done now. So lovely. Look at that. I just think they're so pretty. So pretty. So that's, put that to the side. So that's the resin bit finished now. So what I'm going to be using now, I'm going to be using my chrome marker. I'm using the silver because obviously it looks like you've soldered it, doesn't it? I think they just look so lovely. So lovely. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to just go around the outside. Now these have to be left to dry. I like to leave them to dry overnight because, oops, don't drop them. Because then you know you're not going to get sort of fingerprints all over them. So that goes on there. There we go. Just paint around the edge. Now I don't know whether you can see that, but that's a little bit of sort of resin that's sort of like a little bumpy bit. There you go, you can see that, and that reminds me of when you solder, they have like little bumpy bits on them where you see the solder. So don't worry if you go over the edge. Now I'm going to just put that down. Oops, not like that. And then I'm going to just draw around the edge. That's the easiest way I've found to do it. Just so it goes up over the side just a little bit. So it comes over the top. Like that. So I think that looks great. Make sure you haven't got the silver on your fingers. And then we just do the same with them all. These will be going into my next journal, which will be my Shabby Dreams journal. So I will be using some of these probably on the spine as a little sort of spine dangle, which are beautiful. So if you brought these, they would cost you a fortune, but you can make all of these things yourself and make them all individual to you, because I just think they're just so pretty. So just go around the edge like that, just the top edge, so it goes around. So we've got the, oh lovely, oops. Now again, if you wanted the gold, you could use the gold. You can get different chrome marker colours, so you can obviously do it any colour, but I'm loving it because the back is white, so it looks like china, doesn't it? Looks like lovely porcelain china. There we go. And I think by leaving just that little bit of white on there, it looks like sort of like half the pattern on there, doesn't it? Put that down round to the edge like that. Oh, look, I've gone and got it over the top of this one, so I can wipe that off while it's still wet. Oh, I've made a big mess now. Let's just take a wet wipe. There we go. Use a wet wipe to wipe that off. Little mistake. We have to have a little mistake here and there, don't we? It's my big fingers blobbed on there. So I'm just going to go around to the edge. That's why you don't want, look, that's why you don't want the silver on your fingers, because it stays wet for a little while, so you want to just not touch them for a bit. Let me just wipe that off my finger so I don't get it on this one. Round the edge. Just so pretty. And you can get some such pretty napkins now. Well, you've always been able to get pretty napkins, but do you know what I mean? I'm sure you've got something lying around that you can use. Like that. Just go all the way round. Like that, and then just edge it without making another mess on there. Like that. So yes, I'm going to be looking for some napkins when I go out next to see if I can find some sort of ones that I could use. Although I do have a huge amount of napkins, I'll have to have a good root through what I've got. Oh, is that a hole there? There it is. Couldn't see the hole. There we go. Look at those guys. Aren't they just beautiful? Absolutely gorgeous. I will give a close-up at the end, or you will probably have seen it on the thumbnail as well. So what I thought I would do on these, I'm just going to show you. I've got this little one here. I was just going to add the bead. I've got a little red bead here, which I thought looks really pretty, because can't do them on these ones because they're wet. But I'm going to take, I've got some of these. I'm sure you've got some little jewellery findings in your stash as well. These are these little sort of pins. I could probably use a smaller one actually. These are just sort of like flathead pins for putting sort of like beads on. So I'm going to cut, where's this? I'm going to cut the flat end off because we don't need that. So I'm just going to snip that off. And then I'm going to get my little loop pliers and just pop a little loop in the end of there, like that. I'm going to pop the bead on, and I'm going to make another little loop at the other end, like this. Little loop, so we've got made our own little bead there, our own little dangle. So let's just flatten that a little bit. going to take this, I'm going to open up my jump ring, wherever the end is, if I popped it through. Open up that, pop my little bead in, push that. I would probably put the connecting bit just inside, like that, just in this little bit, and just hide it. Then I'm going to get, I've only got little brassy ones left of these, little antique ones. I should take my gloves off really. Pop that on, pop that through there, like that, and then we've got a little dangly. Look at that. So simple and so pretty. I just love them. I really, really do love them. So again, I'm just going to show you quickly. I'm going to quickly mix up. I'm going to put these up there. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to mix the colour. So I'm going to take a little bit of the white. Nearly run out of this. So I've got a little bit of white. We have, I like the blue. I'm going to do just a little tiny little blob of the blue. And this is just sort of like, give it a good mix with this, like that. Could probably do with a better little spoon. These aren't very good for mixing because they sort of like scratch the bottom really. But can you see, that gives that lovely opaque look of china in there, doesn't it? Now again, if you are very, very good, which I might try actually, you could sort of almost paint over the top. You could paint a little flower on there. Can't you just tip that in? Let's put all of that in if we all could fit in. Oh look, I think we've probably got perfect amount there. In there. I think that's enough. There we are. Get rid of some of the bubbles because we don't want bubbles. That's quite full. Is there another bubble in there? I'm going to just put that under here just for a couple of minutes and then I will be back. I'm going to put this under there as well to get rid of that and then I will be back. Okay, so that's done. I did actually do a little white one as well because I'm going to have a go at painting on that one. I'm just going to put that under. It's a little bit wet on this one. Look at that. Oh, so pretty. Right, I'm going to actually take one of these. I'm going to put a little bit of white in here. I'm going to come a little bit closer now. There we go. Let's move these out of the way. Put these on here. Not that I'm very good at doing any sort of painting of any sort, but I'm going to just use it with a little toothpick. Let's get rid of that, turn that one off. I'm going to just put some little, what's that on there? Little white, sort of, oh, I don't want to go too close to the edge, do I? Oops, that's sort of smudged. Just do some little, maybe we'll just do some little sort of patterns on here, like this. So it looks like we've got a little bit of china on there. China, a little bit of painting, do you know what I mean? Little china pattern. Not that I'm very good, but we can just put little marks on there. Looks a bit messy. But if you're good at this, you can probably find something like that. Right, I'm going to just get rid of this. I'll go over the top of that in a second. But I'm going to just put that in there. Put my hand over this. Go over that a little bit more, just to make it a little bit whiter. Gosh, there's so much you could do with these, isn't there? Really is. Once you get going, you'll probably have lots and lots of ideas to do. There we go. Right, let's just put that light back on again. Cover up my resin. Just pop that on for a second. Just needs to sort of harden, and then I'll pop it under a little bit longer in the middle. In a minute. Right, I'm going to mix up. Where's my? Oh look, I've got this as well. This is the UV coloured, but I want my blue. Here's some blue. I'm going to just put a little bit on there actually. Just mix this up. There we go. A little bit of darker in there. Oh, so many different ideas. Oh, I like the idea of painting on these. Well, I was going to try and do a flower, but that didn't quite work, did it? I went sort of like a bit bobbly blobbly. This is good. There we go. We are. Put this lamp over the top for a second, and then we will do something on that. Maybe I'll try and do a little flower on that one or something. Let's put that on there. This is just to give you an idea, just an idea. It's not the best sort of little picture or pattern, is it? So I'm going to go over then with another little bit of white just on this bit here. Like that. Then I can just pop a little bit of clear over the top. There we go. That will do. I'm going to put that under my lamp for a second. I'm not going to turn that on yet because I'm just going to do this one. I'm going to do like a little, you know how they like those little sort of funny fish thing that's, I'm not very good at doing fish. There we go. Upside down fish this is supposed to be. Not really the best, but let's just, we can go over the top of that in a minute and give him a sort of eye. It's a abstract fish. Let's just hold that there for a second. Just to harden it up. Oops. A little bit more over the top of my funny funky looking fish. Use up this blue. Not quite like a fish, is it? Oh yeah. I'm going to put that underneath there. With that for a second. And then I need this little bit of white there. Okay, let's just take that out. Oh, it doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too bad. I didn't give him any little, just Just need a black. Won't you have a little white eye? Do the little white eye. And then just a little. These are supposed to look like little. Give him a little bit of texture on his body there. Like that. Oh, that's okay. Should we give him a little thing to... That's gone quite dark, hasn't it? Oh my gosh, guys, I'm not very good at fish. Let's put that one in. Look, that's not bad. That looks like some type of funky china. A little bit of funky china. Now I'm going to turn this off. Put this down. Put this on there so this can go over the top of this one. Actually, I quite like that. That can go over the top of that. Not the best fish person, am I? But it's quite a nice little funky design. Designer, this is designer china on here. Doesn't even have to be a fish, it can just be a funky design. There we go. Put this on here. Well, I think you need the little torch. I should have had the little torch and did a little bit at a time and hardened it. I think that's probably the best way to do it. I might have a go at that on another video, I think. See if we can do a little painty design. I quite like this. It's a sort of very sort of 70s design, isn't it? That shows my age. Okay. Pop this on top like that for a minute. Let's pop these underneath here. You can use those for something else, but let's just harden those off. Put those down there. And then we can pop a little bit of silver around the outside and see what that looks like. Give this a good shake. But guys, these are just beautiful. You're a bit closer now, so you can probably see these a little bit better. Look. Let's turn these over. Look at that. They're just lovely, aren't they? Sorry, I'm a bit close there. There's a little one hiding. I do like the butterfly. The butterfly fits in there really well. Put that up there. Okay. There we go. That will do. We'll harden them off a little bit more in a bit. But look at that. That's quite funky, isn't it? He does look a bit like a fish. He does. Let's just pop this around. So yes, if you're good at drawing sort of flowers, you'll be good at this. This just stays. If you don't touch this with your fingers and stuff, it will stay lovely and shiny like that. So hopefully you can see that a little bit better now. Just go around that edge like that. And we'll do this one quickly. Quick go with this one. Like that. Perfect, perfect, perfect. A bit around. So I don't know whether you guys actually do the broken china jewellery. So if you do, it would be quite nice for you to have a go at doing the resin style. So there we go, guys. That is your lovely little project today. And actually, I really like these. I think they are really nice. Really, really nice. So I'm going to just put these here like that so you can see a little bit closer. And then I did show you these. So these are a little bit like that, but lovely. So I will leave all the details under the video of all the lovely products from Letsresin that I used. So do please give this a go because it is fabulous. It really, really is lovely, and the outcome is super. So I will be using these in my next journal, popping these on the spine of my journal because I just think they are beautiful. So there we go, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Please do have a fantastic rest of the day. Stay safe, take care, and I will see you soon. All right, guys, bye bye.